We need any more chairs?
They bring me one.
They're coming? Okay. Well, we're going to go back into our special session. We've been in executive session for quite a while this morning, since about 8:30, for the purposes of interviewing the applicants for the executive director's position. While we were in executive session, we interviewed these candidates. We discussed their qualifications. There were no decisions made or any actions taken during the executive session. At this particular time, we will start with our deliberations that will lead us to our final decision for executive director. And I'll start with Jackie, if you would like to lead off with your comments.
Sure.
And we will go to Rick Hanold, and then to Bruce Allen, and then to Jill Johnson, and then I will conclude.
Well, gosh, first of all, I applaud all three candidates. They were three people of the highest quality that I think we could have ever gotten, and I thank John and your crew for doing an excellent job. This is probably one of the toughest decisions I will ever be involved with. All three candidates were just excellent. Mr. LaFontaine, it's nice that you stayed around. I think your experience in transit is just admirable. You were very honest with your answers. Really appreciated your experience and wanting to move to our beautiful island. Mr. Nortier, again, a real solid background in leadership. Knows our community really well. Very, very solid candidate. Mr. Phillips, at the combination of public service and military service, also lives in our community, knows our community pretty well. Was very impressed with his enthusiasm for the job, or just for his life and life living here. So I just applaud all three of them. It's going to be a very, very hard decision. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Rick?
Well, yeah, personally myself, I want to thank John Rothman and applaud you guys, your firm, for, I mean, you put us in quite an enviable position here. We have three very solid finalists that we interviewed this morning for the executive director position, and they all exhibit very high quality attributes. Mr. Fontaine, you know, you've got transit experience going for you and a very good proven track record. Mr. Phillips, you know, he comes to us, he's got leadership expertise in the military and as well as public leadership position now, and so he brings the kind of the blend of you know, public and military service and commitment to the community, good leadership skills. Mr. Nortier comes to us with command experience, no real public sector, if you want to call it, experience, but he comes to us as a, you know, the best community leader for Whidbey for 2015, best naval air station, actually large installation period in the Navy for 2015. Some very solid qualifications. All of them are good communicators. All of them have excellent references. And any one of them would serve well. And I'm glad to be in this position, but it is difficult.
Thank you, Rick.
That's all we left to say is ditto. All three of these guys are super qualified to do what we have to do. And I appreciate all three of them for coming out and making themselves available to us and being very forthright with discussing their qualifications with us. And I think everybody's already said it's going to be very difficult to pin one down to a certain particular person, but we have to do that. But I appreciate everybody's involvement with this whole process, and to John and his company for giving us this qualified guys.
Thank you.
Robert, I thought you did really well on your interview. I thought you were honest. You showed your character, which shined through, and I had a lot of respect for that. One of the biggest things that I'm looking for is a relationship that I can trust, and you demonstrated that tenfold. I think that your experience with transit, it was evident, and I think that you would be a very good manager for the staff, very staff responsive. I thought you were presented very professionally, and that your family would be a great addition to our community. I was also impressed with the loyalty that you showed to your current employer, and I want to commend you for that. Mike Nortier is a proven leader in our community. He demonstrated his ability to manage up in his interview, suggesting ways that the board could function better in a very kind but professional way. He's a coach, a mentor in the way he leads. He offers leadership in a less obvious way than some other individuals display leadership, and I think that's an interesting attribute of his. And he has known and proven relationships with leaders in our community, as well as at the state and federal level. Chris Phillips, also so enthusiastic, a great energy that I think our employees would respond really well to. His public sector experience is an asset. His understanding of open public meetings and government transparency is an asset. He has vision, he was solution focused, and again, I mean, I know you've heard it now 4 times, probably you're about to hear it the 5th. We could not go wrong with these choices, and I am just really privileged to be a part of the process. And I think it says something about the organization that we're at a point where we got 3 stellar applicants, and for me it's just going to come down to the right fit for our organization and community, because there are strong strengths with all 3.
Thank you, Jill. First I want to thank Profman, as the other board members have complimented you. It is not easy to get highly qualified people in a fairly short period of time who can address the needs that we have in Island Transit. We did not go out to the public with a very good reputation, and we're working on that. Thank you very much. The other thing I'd like to thank the Island Transit staff. They also had something to do with not selecting any candidates, but it is an administrative process that you all deserve thanks and recognition for helping put the paperwork together and to keep us informed. And thirdly, and certainly not last, I want to thank the public for participating in this process, both on Camino Island here and the write-ins, the emails, all of the written comments that came from the public. This is a public process. It was our goal to include them, as we were required to, in the process, and I think we had good participation. I agree with and concur, which perhaps the same thing, of the comments made by my colleagues up here, and I would be satisfied with all 3 of them. They are very, very good candidates. So I don't need to repeat what they said. I already said I agree and concur, so I kind of regret myself.
There you go. You agreed twice.
And so at this time, I would like to ask the board if they are ready to make a decision, and if they are, I will entertain a motion, and I'm looking at the board.
I'd like to authorize the legal counsel to enter into discussion with Michael Nortier as our incoming executive director, and to discuss with him his professional service and make an agreement to present to this board at our next meeting.
There has been a motion made by Mr. Allen to direct our legal counsel to prepare the documents to enter into a negotiation for employment with Mr. Michael Nortier. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Johnson beat you to it.
Okay.
So the motion has been seconded by Ms. Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? This is a unanimous decision. Mr. Nortier, I don't think he's here. We
That's a good
directed.
line.
Pardon?
That's a good line.
We have directed our council to proceed with the process to enter into employment. Rob, it's hard to sit here and look at you and say you weren't the final selection.
We should have given him higher marks on strategy.
You're an excellent candidate, and you're going to make it big at some point.
You're gonna do well.
Any agency would be well served by you being captain.
Well, thank you, and I will help welcome Mr. Nortier into our transit family here in Washington.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. And I appreciate it.
Right on, thank you.
All of this stuff goes to Jill. It was a very reputation.
Not everything goes.
We got, you're young, but the work that I'll tell you what, I would recommend you. Well, either Jill or Meg.
Meg.
For the park.
No, you've done our lesson.
It's always tough.
Thank you for their.
Yeah, won't be bad.
I'm sorry, I just took that training.
Oh, I left you out on the thing.
I was like, I took it on my phone. I saw it on the
Well, thank you, everybody.
It's been a while for me, so see, I talked to. I do.